Hello, and thank you for joining me today for my talk on Don't Forget the Locals. So we're going to be looking at the value of visiting local libraries and archive centres. Local libraries and heritage centres. They're a very important part of our one place study or place of interest. The actual physical building may be of historic importance, many being purpose-built in the late 1800s following the 1850 Public Libraries Act. The introduction of a library in a place adds to the social history of a place, who used it. A local library or heritage centre has a focus on the local history. They can hold unique documents and photographs in their own collections. I will use the examples of Skipton Library in North Yorkshire, previously in the West Riding of Yorkshire, Keighley Local Studies Library in West Yorkshire, and the Washburn Heritage Centre in North Yorkshire. These facilities each offer differing information, providing an insight into the history of their immediate locality. So we'll start with Skipton Library. This is an example from the collection index. So in the people, there's a huge amount relating to the poor law, the settlements, removals, maintenance and relief, the bastardy bonds, pauper apprenticeships, indentures. So a vast amount of information if you're looking for somebody who has maybe moved from the place you expected to find them in. And these are held at the Skipton Library, and I was unable to find the named people on Ancestry, for example. There's the Skipton School Union, Sunday School Union, where you'll find out where names of children. Friendly societies. This gives names of people who were part of those particular societies and gives an idea of what they may have done for a living. But then for a one-place study or a place of interest, land is really important. So there are entailed estates, railways. The Leeds-Liverpool Canal runs through Skipton. Documents relating to water supply and the turnpike roads, so a vast amount of information. You can use the National Archives Discovery website, and this shows you where a document is held. When I search for Skipton Manor, it gives a record from 1796, which is held at Skipton Library. And there was another record held by the Yorkshire and Archaeological History Society, held at the Brotherton Library at Leeds University, as we can see here. So the location is Skipton, the held by is Skipton Library, that is where the document is. Keighley Local Studies Library is fabulous. It's the full floor of the library itself, the public library. There are 3 archivists work there, and as well as many archives and documents and records that they hold and photographs, they have exhibitions and regular talks. Within their local records are a vast amount of educational records for the Keighley Mechanics Institute, the college, grammar schools, individual business collections, including the Industrial Cooperative Society. It was a mill town. Keighley was a mill town with loads of reports relating to the mills and business directories. There are family records that have been passed to the library, photographs, diaries, war records, and the Bronte collection, the well-known Bronte family who lived in Haworth near Keighley. Local and church and chapel records, local clubs and societies, these are all very good documents to read through and are often very name rich. Maps, buildings and sale plans, including the earliest Ordnance Survey maps of the town, with awards and enclosure maps. Building plans. Who doesn't love a plan of a building? There's the Cliff Castle plans, the Royal Arcade and the Old Workhouse. Sale plans of local properties and of farms showing original field names. An absolute wealth of information for a local area. Again, the National Archives Discovery has links to where you can find documents at Keighley Local Studies Library, and for this instance I search for the Bronte family, and here we can see that a very wealthy man in the town, Mr. Brigg, his correspondence to for acquisition of the Bronte Museum. And there's also another document with the signature of Patrick Bronte. Keighley Local Studies Library holds 6 hardbound volumes from the photographic survey, which was done in 1909. The library acquired the volumes in 1911. The Keighley Photographic Association created a survey of the town. These photographs capture everyday life in the town, including street scenes, the transition from horse-drawn trams to electric trams, slum clearance, and local key people. This provides a study of the change as they happened in an industrial town during modernisation, and the survey is recognised as of national significance. The housing and slum clearance collection is fascinating. There are a comprehensive set of photographs, memories, and of the meetings. Slum clearance is such an important aspect to be aware of your place of interest. It tells us what was there before, the social conditions, changes in infrastructure, and the census. Look at that to see where the people were rehoused. The next archive centre is the Washburn Heritage Centre in a tiny village of Fewston. It has a collection of over 12,000 items, including photographs, original and copied documents, memorabilia, film, video and sound recordings, including an extensive oral history project. It has permanent and temporary exhibitions and an amazing findings of an on-site archaeological investigation, which led on to transcriptions of gravestones and a plan of the graveyard. The Fewston Assemblage is a permanent exhibition. When the Heritage Centre was built in 2010, the developers were aware that the area to be excavated contained skeletal remains, and these had to be moved from the Fewston churchyard prior to the excavation and building. The 154 sets of skeletal remains are known as the Fewston Assemblage. Because of the size, age and the rural location, together with the wealth of social history available, Fewston Assemblage has become known for global significance for archaeologists. It is one of very few post-medieval rural assemblages. There's more in urban areas, but to find one in such a rural area is very significant. Many remains belong to young people brought from workhouses throughout England into the country to work in the textile mills in the valley. It was a unique find for me at Fewston Heritage Centre. This is a poem, and it was written by my 3 times great-grandfather, I only learned of the poem from the Washburn Heritage Centre. You can imagine my amazement when I found this, and it's so special. It even has an enlarged copy on the wall permanently, and it tells of his time and his thoughts about the mill owner. So in summary, local libraries and heritage centres can provide unique insights, documents, records and exhibitions. They're less intimidating archives than the great big ones, and where staff are delighted to help. I hope I have inspired you to visit your local archive centre, and thank you very much for listening. I'd love to hear your feedback and anything that you find of special interest in your local library. You can leave that on the All About That Place Facebook page. Thank you.